And we are going to move right into the other match that is going on right now. European Goats versus RICMA 5 winner. This is currently 3-1, and we are already on the DT3 here. I believe this is a pick for European Goats as well, and they are ahead on it. Looks like solid score from Hifkill and Tim Kackner here for European Goats, as we see also a pretty solid score from Leonard H, formerly known as Hammy TR or Ramon 2 on the side of RICMA 5 winner. But the supporting scores, once again, 240, 278k for Andros and Yeri, plus a 500k for Tim Kackner, putting up a very, very solid second score there for European Goats. We're going to very quick get into the map pool scene and make sure that everything is up to date here as well. We did see a No-Mod 6 ban. Thank you, Laser. No-Mod 6 ban from European Goats, a DT2 ban from RICMA 5 winner, and then a 3-Mod 3 ban and No-Mod 5 ban after that. We have also seen the Hidden 1 picked. That was won by European Goats. The No-Mod 2 picked. That was won by RICMA 5 winner. And then the Hard Rock 3 picked for European Goats. They won that one. RICMA 5 winner picking or Hard Rock 3, excuse me. Hard Rock 1 for RICMA 5 winner, which they actually lost. And then, of course, the DT3 that we just saw. So now a 4-1 score line in favor of European Goats going into the next pick for RICMA 5 winner. I think just based off of the pool so far, the maps that have been picked, you generally kind of want to pick into some of the aim control, right? You see No-Mod 6 and 3-Mod 3 banned by European Goats. You see the No-Mod 2 going the way of RICMA 5 winner, so I think stuff like the No-Mod 4, stuff like the Hard Rock 2, for example, stuff like the 3-Mod 2, the DT4 can all be very solid picks for the blue team here in RICMA 5 winner.
Hello, Dio. I'm gonna be staying in for the cast.
All right.
I think yeah, I'm gonna be coming in. I may need to leave in like half an hour's time. So if this goes on all the way to the end, unfortunately, you have to be on your own in that one.
All good.
But I will be in for the majority of the match, if not the rest of it, depending on how this goes. But yeah, just keep that screen up for just one moment. All right, cool. You're all good. Yeah. I have not studied these rosters, I'm afraid, Dio, so I cannot actually tell you exactly the differences between both of these teams. I'm quite familiar with quite a few of the players from European Goats, only a few from RICMA 5 winner. I think I know Gaby, Art, and Arco. Outside of that, I'm not too familiar with the rest of the players here. I think RNG I've heard of before.
Yeah, a couple of players to watch out for. Ramon 2 now renamed to Leonard H. Headstack renamed to Sheldon C. Bazinga. And of course, Gaby, a very good reading player. Arco and RNG, very good mechanics players. TTV UFO, also a pretty solid mechanics player there. Hance Shane and Tricky Pugster kind of filling in for RICMA 5 winner as needed. Whereas for European Goats, Fie, kind of the all-rounder for their team. Yeri and Tim Kackner alongside Andros, very, very good speed players. Same with Jackpacks. Yeah. And then, of course, Skilla, Hifkill, and Alirid, kind of the other sort of all-rounders, generally solid on lots of different things there for them. And, of course, particularly Yeri and Tim Kackner can go in for a lot of other stuff as well. Here, though, we have the Hidden 2 picked for RICMA 5 winner. I think trying to lean into what could be a pop-off score from Gaby. Gaby, a very, very good low approach rate reading player. Yep. Not quite at the level of some of the players that we just saw, like Taquito and Arnold, for example, but still a very good low approach rate reading player and can hang with the best of them when it comes to a lot of this. I think overall, you're going to expect lower team score for RICMA 5 winner and European Goats on a lot of these maps, but still a very closely contested match between these two. And just based off the MP link, that's what we've seen so far. 130k on the DT3, 280k on the Hard Rock 1, 190k on the No-Mod 2, 180k on the Hidden 1. So these teams have been pretty back and forth, pretty close with each other, except for on that Hard Rock 3. So I'm expecting a pretty good match between these teams and looking forward to seeing exactly who is in and can do well on this map. For European Goats, you have players like Skilla, who are very, very good at that low AR reading, and of course Gaby, I think, to match on the side of RICMA 5 winner.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at Gaby and Skilla to be the biggest threats here. Skilla has made multiple really powerful appearances on this specific skill set in multiple tournaments throughout the years. So I'm looking at him to be the biggest threat here for sure. From what I remember, Fie was also pretty good on this type of skill. So I'm not sure about the reading part of it, but the rest of the type of map skill, I think Fie is actually quite good on this. So I'm looking forward to him to do well on this. Gaby, of course, being the big threat on this one. So excited to see what goes down on this one. This song is a banger as well. I think this is one of my personal favorite Gorshit songs. I think this one and Benzo are my two favorites.
Yeah, I was talking with T1G about this when we saw this, or I think it was Miles when we were doing Showcase, or Chiv. I don't remember who, but I was talking with somebody at some point about this, and both of the opinion that this is probably the best Gorshit song. It's just a classic. It's really, really good. The atmosphere for this song is just unmatched compared to so many of the other ones. I think a lot of the stuff from Semantic Compositions on Death and Its Meaning are very, very good songs. And this, of course, is from that album as well. This is just a classic. It's a super good song. So happy to see it here. This is not the ranked version, by the way. This is an unranked version mapped by Xarius. Of course, AR 8 and 6.7 stars may not be the map stats you remember from the DT version, or I guess modern day DT version. It used to be Hidden Hard Rock Farm back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit different map stats. Very same sort of style, though. Lots of finger control, lots of burst control, lots of general aim and mechanics requirements on this map. And when you combine all that together on a low approach rate and add hidden, it just becomes so much more difficult for your brain to process everything and act on it while also dealing with, you know, memorizing where all of the notes are.
Yeah, this is a really tough map. I mean, it's got a lot of... the mapping itself is quite traditional in its Gorshit style. It's got a lot of those consistent, burst and finger control into some aim on there as well. But the hidden with the hidden and the low AR applied to it makes it really difficult. But the map itself is pretty standard mechanics. It's also very consistent throughout its entirety of this map, like very consistent. You're going to be seeing the same thing for quite a while, up until about the final quarter of the map, final third of the map, where it just starts to ramp up quite a lot in its difficulty and its jump spacing. But past this intro section, we're seeing quite a lot of misses. A four-way early miss here from RICMA 5 winner. Whereas on the other side of European Goats, everybody's still holding on to their full combos here. A very domineering early advantage here with that four-way miss.
Yeah, huge break at the start here for RICMA 5 winner, but there's still a lot of map left to go, so we're only, quarter of the way in. There's still quite a lot of time, but these continued misses from Leonard H and RNG not helping the case for RICMA 5 winner. And RNG gonna find another miss here. So the four-way FC for European Goats still going strong. Gaby finds the miss, UFO finds a miss, and suddenly it's two four-way resets here. Leonard the only one to hold on to any combo now. It's Yaria and Skilla to miss, Jackpacks as well. And BA also actually finding the drop, so four-way miss for both rosters, but 250,000 score lead for European Goats, and we're under a million team score once again. So this is looking very, very good for European Goats. Leonard H can bring this back, but gonna have to be very, very good through the rest of the map in order for that to manifest, as the score lead only coming down so quickly right now.
Yeah, you're seriously banking on that Leonard H combo here. Going up to about 98. Finally does go down though. That's a big miss there. Skilla and Fie able to contest with a little bit of combo, but Fie does follow up with that miss. So Skilla, last man standing with any significant combo here, but nothing that here RICMA 5 can contest with. A lot of misses throughout the entirety of this match here. Nobody really able to hold on to anything massive. Leonard H really tried his best to keep it going, but not enough to make the flip happen here. That early four-way miss was probably what really led to that big fall apart and that big score lead to really start establishing here. But as we get into the hardest part of the map here, the final quarter, it starts to get way too difficult to anybody to really hold on to anything too massive. Those doubles and that aspect of control with that aim on there is really, really hard to keep your grip on, especially with that hidden aim applied on there as well. That hidden low AR, really, really tough to keep yourself in control over with how volatile some of these jumps just really are. Everybody is missing everything here, but with that lack of combo leads to a lack of score advantage, and That in turn leaves that reserve 250,000 score for European GOATs solidly still in their hands without any real odd of it being flipped.
Yeah, this is now just an over and done with map here. European GOATs taking another breakpoint in this one. Now going to be up 5-1 with the next pick, potentially closing in on that match point for themselves. And unfortunately, yeah, the accuracy is good for Gaby. It's going to be, 350k or so at the end of the map here, but it's just not nearly enough. That's on the end of the lowest scores for European GOATs. Yeri, Jackpax, and Fie all above that mark, up near 380k for all of them. Plus Skilla on the 450k, outclassing any of the scores from RICMA 5 winner, and that's just a full team gap. When your worst score is better than the best on the opposing team, there's nothing more to say. You've just completely outclassed and won in a landslide.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the teamwork making the dream work here for European GOATs. Just a mass difference in raw power. Leonard H may have had the leading combo throughout the lobby, but general accuracy alongside of miscount and consistency just pales in comparison to what European GOATs really had in spades compared to the rest of RICMA 5 winner. That in turn gives them another breakpoint in a row, Dio. European GOATs are one more pick of their own away from being at match point. And the question is, what are they going to lean into? Based on what RICMA 5 winner have banned, they're really not a fan of these mechanics. And you still have a few of those open. You've got that normal one being that raw aim mechanics. You've got the DT1 still open. DT4 if you're leaning to a more of a control-y angle. So yeah, I think European GOATs have a lot of choice at the moment.
Definitely quite a bit of choice with, of course, the hidden 1 and the hidden 2 going their way. Hidden 3 presents itself as an option for them. With everything besides the Nomad 2 going their way so far. I mean, kind of pick of the litter here. I feel like the Nomad 4 really is the one map that kind of makes you pause a little bit before going into that. So maybe we'll see a Hard Rock 2 or a Free Mod 2 here, but I think more likely going into the Hidden 3 or one of the remaining DTs, maybe that DT1.
Yeah, I think the most likely option there. Like you said, they both won there already winning their both hidden picks. With players like Skilla around, I don't blame them at all. I think they could easily go into hidden 3, but it won't be the case. It seems to be DT1 instead. This is just double time 1, man. 10.5. Classic styling of double time 1. Very consistent in its difficulty up until about the final Ki, where it finally starts to spike up just a little bit. The Ki times are obviously the parts where you're looking at the most difficulty, but overall, this is a pretty powerful European GOATs pick.
Yeah, I think this is just a very, very solid pick for them. That said, there are some good DT players on the side of RICMA 5 winner, specifically for DT aim and bursts like this. RNG and Arco come to mind as particularly good players for this. Tricky Pugster also not necessarily known as a super tournament focused player, but very good on DT generally, especially DT aim. So there are a lot of good players for this map for RICMA 5 winner. The question is how good, because if you're picking it into European GOATs, or if European GOATs are picking it into you have to imagine that they are also going to have a very good roster, right? You have Andros, you have Hithkill, you have Alird in for this, and there's a couple of options for that last player as well, right? It's going to be Tim Kackner to come in over somebody else like Yeri, for example, who could have also come in for this map. So the fact they have some options here, very good for European GOATs. Hey, it's Shane, going to be rounding out the roster for RICMA 5 winner over somebody like Arco as well.
Yeah, I mean, Akaranya filling out this final spot here for European GOATs doesn't give me any more confidence on RICMA 5 winner, I'm afraid. Akaranya being a very powerful mechanics player for Germany, both in Hard Rock and in Double Time. I'm expecting him to do very well on this. But there's still potential, like you said. RNG, a player who I think is very capable. But outside of that, man, I'm just leaving this to be a favorable pick of European GOATs. Is Arco here, Shane?
I don't believe so.
Oh, Arco's not playing? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a completely different player.
Okay, that's surprising. All
I was
right.
gonna say I don't think that's a name change. I'm pretty sure those are two different guys.
I don't know. I do not know Hey It's Shane, I'm afraid. I do wish I did. But yeah, okay, that's a little bit scary actually. Missing Arco, probably one of your strongest players in your team, full stop. Having him not be around, there might be a cause for reason as to why the scoreline is as it is now. The lack of one of your star players. But so far into the map, unfortunately for RICMA 5 winner, a lot of misses on the early start. Tricky Pugster and RNG both going down. Still a 4-way full combo here for European Goats past this little intro section. It's time for the first KI now. First difficulty increase to come through. This is where you're really banking for RICMA 5 winner for one of those 4-way full combos to go down. You still have 2 full combos from Leonard and H. Shane. Tricky Pugster as well with a great recovery alongside RNG. But Tricky Pugster does go down. Alan Hifgill does go down, but it's traded by 2 of your full combos here for RICMA 5 winner at the very end of that KI time as well. It is a Curran and Andros still to hold on and keep their full combos alive.
Yeah, Tim Kackner and Andros both on the FC right now, and RNG the only high combo for RICMA 5 winner. Andros will go down, so it's just Tim Kackner holding on for European Goats, but with the score lead already above 350,000 plus the combo lead for Tim Kackner over RNG, you still massively favor European Goats on this map. And this may just be a match in which RICMA 5 winner are made short work of, as European Goats looking to go up match point here. Tricky Pugster will find the miss, the only one on that section, alongside Hey It's Shane actually missing right beforehand. Very unhappy, of course. Throwing, unlucky.
And, these sad faces break my heart, man.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And nobody wants to underperform in tournament, but nobody wants to lose in tournament either. But somebody's got to lose. It's a competition. That's the whole point. There's winners and losers, and the losers are always going to be a little sad there. Unfortunately for RICMA 5 winner, it's in a big way on this DT1 with Tim Kackner still holding on to the FC. RNG not too far behind on a very good combo, but you see multiple players matching that 500k from the side of European Goats. Yeah, Leonard is also at about that 500k mark, but it's Tim Kackner just pulling out completely ahead. Still on the FC, does finally drop one miss here near the end on the hardest part of the map. Leard and Hifkill still holding big combo for European Goats through this ending diff spike as well, and that is just 800,000 plus score in the lead. Not close on this map. That is 3v4 material for European Goats, missing anyone besides Tim Kackner.
Yeah, that is absolute destruction from European Goats. Not much else to say, really. It's bordering on a 2v. It's bordering on a 2v4, really. Andros on that airstrike. Perennial on that 2 miss. Choke. Brilliant scores overall. Solid effort there from RNG and Leonard H, both holding on to some really big combos at some parts of the map, but yeah, not for them, but it's okay. Number 3 up next, www Kichibato. This is your high spacing flow aim.
166 BPM, super high spacing, super high curvature, so the streams with really sharp angles, lots of circle streams, right? If a stream has 0 curvature, it's just a straight line. If a stream has very high curvature, it's a super tight, perfect circle. So high curvature streams, that's what you're talking about there. Stuff that really curves quite a lot in comparison to stuff that kind of flows in a mostly straight line. And this map is full of that at extremely high spacing. Most of these are follow points or close to it, but it is still relatively straightforward despite all of that, because there's not a ton of aim control involved in these streams outside of the kind of snappy triples in between sliders in this map. So you do have a little bit of aim control, but a lot of flowy alt patterns in this map is really how you describe this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head with that one. Yes, 4.1, AR 9.8, 3 minutes and 34 seconds long. If there's anything to go about this, consistency is one of the keys at this one. And the map doesn't really stop hitting you with this difficulty. I think the only easier section is that slider section, with a few like slider bouncing patterns that are really not that difficult to hit. Gives you a little bit of breathing room, but outside of that, the map does not stop hitting you with those slider sections. Not slider sections, of the flow aim section, sorry. It's just a chill, but still consistently difficult map. It's very possible to chain miss on this as well. As you said, with this high curvature, with that high spacing applied on top, any slight miss aim can decimate your score and just lead to a complete fall apart through one of the longer chains of the map. But I'm looking forward to seeing how RICMA 5 Winner do. This is their pick, but I can't help but be a little bit daunted by some of the players on here, on the side of European GOATs. Skilla, Fie, Tim Kakner, and Jackpax. All 4 players I think can easily do quite well on this. Any player in particular from RICMA 5 that you think could perform well on this tier?
Honestly, I'm just looking at Hammy, Leonard H. He's been kind of the rock for the team throughout the tournament so far, has been their best performer in the majority of matches, and I think should be able to put up a pretty good score on this map. That said, probably also looking at RNG, who's just kind of a more seasoned tournament player than Hayes Shane or TTV UFO. Not a great start for Hammy, unfortunately, here at the beginning of the map. Hayes Shane also finding a couple of misses. Skilla is going to match. Tim Kakner is going to match. So keeping the combos even here at the beginning of the map with UFO and RNG versus Jackpax and Fie holding on to the full combos during this first big stream section. Fie and UFO will also trade. So it's just RNG and Jackpax, but Leonard and Shane on better recovery than anyone for European GOATs.
Yeah, pretty even grounds here in terms of the combo game for most of these players at the moment. That early miss from Leonard H not really leading him to bat an eye. Still holding on to a really solid recovery here. TTV UFO with a lower combo, at least able to contest one of the 200 lot combos from European GOATs. But Jackpax holding on to a combo big enough to at least contest one for Zynga from RNG. A very close early break scoreline, but only about a quarter of the way through, so anything can change, especially as we get into this first Ki here. The spacing starts to really hit a high level, with Tim Kakner being the first one to drop here. A lot of combos here from RICMA 5 Winner continuing to hold as the score will start to flip here. TTV UFO does go down though. Shane also drops, but it is joined by Skilla and Tim Kakner once again. RNG also goes down though, and Leonard H also falls apart. The entirety of RICMA 5 Winner just completely fall. A full reset for this team is disastrous, especially with Fie and Jackpax still holding on to their combo threat the whole Ki and will complete those circle sections with absolute style. Beautiful accuracy there from Jackpax as well, keeping his team far ahead in this lead.
Yeah, and whoa, Jackpax finding a massive chain miss, but it doesn't matter. 150,000 score lead, and Fie still on 700 plus combo. UFO drops the last big combo for RICMA 5 Winner, and as you said, Chiba, it's just a complete destruction for RICMA 5 Winner here. They fall apart in the middle of the map with everyone resetting, and now the score lead just going to continue to grow here for European GOATs going into the end of the map, and it has to be a disaster for European GOATs as well if RICMA 5 Winner want to stay in this tournament one map longer. This is losers bracket. They are out if they lose this map, and it's looking pretty likely right now. Breaks once again for everyone in that section on their side. Fie still holding on. Actually does break right before the end there. Didn't catch that, but that is now going to be the win for European GOATs, 7-1 in this matchup. A little BM there from Jackpax as well.
Bro, relax, man.
There.
It's not over yet. Map's not over yet, buddy. Just give it a moment. The rest of your team have lost the combo, and there's some recoveries here, but with a four-way fall apart there from a European GOATs, only Fie to be the last man standing here. But he does drop sequentially not long after. Leonard H also goes down. And unfortunately for RICMA 5 Winner, they just couldn't pull out the stops, I'm afraid. Not able to bring out the scores that they wanted to throughout this match, and as the ending section starts to approach them, so does their run at the Perennial here. European GOATs keeping their runs alive in very dominant fashion against this team. And all that's left is just this slow little, pretty chill section that we've seen compared to the rest of the map, and in turn will lead to the victory for European GOATs. Thank you so much, RICMA 5 Winner, for playing, but unfortunately their run ends here.
That's a good run for RICMA 5 Winner. They were the 12th seed. They made it to top 12, so this is where you expect them to end their tournament run. European GOATs, though, of course, as seed number 10, making it to top 8, will outperform by 1 round, but they have a very tough opponent awaiting them in the next matchup. We'll talk about that in a minute, but in the meantime, congratulations once again to European GOATs on the win here in semifinals. They advanced to top 8 and knock out RICMA 5 winner. Commiserations to them and thank you for playing. That'll be the end of the run for RICMA 5 winner and a continuation of the run with this win for European GOATs.